Hello and welcome to Fun with Facepalm. This is a special edition of Fun with Facepalm. I've actually got subscriber stories, so I hope you enjoy them. For anyone wanting updates, just wait till the end of each episode and I'll keep you apprised. Hope you enjoy some of the artwork I've included. Without further ado, let's get started. I work at a ma and pop bakery, and we sell kosher goods. There's two situations that stand out about working there. The first one, the bakery sells baker's dozen bagels, so you get 13 bagels as a dozen, which means you get a free one for every 12 that you buy. And this is how it usually goes.
I want 2 bags of 6 bagels each, and I want them in these flavors.
I'm almost done filling up the bags when I tell the woman, because you're buying 12 bagels, you get one for free.
I don't want to buy 13, only 12.
Ma'am, the last one's free.
I don't want to pay for it.
I have this one about once a week. Now this happened once before. Let me set the scene. As we're closing, we're still selling leftover baked goods or cold things out of the refrigerator while we're closing down and cleaning up for the day. Chairs are on the tables, floors are being mopped, the kitchen staff are gone, and some of the lights are turned off. The customer comes in. Are you open? We're only selling leftover baked goods or anything that's in the fridge. I point out that this is mostly just cold spreads and drinks. Oh, I wanted something hot to eat. Can I sit and order? No, sir. The dining room is closed and the staff are gone or cleaning. Oh, you're closed? This happened quite some time ago, back when I worked at a retail store. I had already given my 2 weeks notice, and I was working my last day on the job. This was at a grocery store stocking shelves. Now, since I'd already quit to move on to a better job, I wasn't really feeling like doing more than just getting my work done and leaving. I had just pulled a large pallet of cereal into the cereal aisle of this store. I would like to note that this store's cereal aisle was on aisle 1, and it took up the entire left-hand wall of the store. There was no possible way to miss it, at least I thought. That's when a customer came up to me to ask for directions. The customer asked me,
"Where's the cereal?"
Now by the time they had gotten to me, a large pallet of cereal was right between me and the customer was looking directly at a wall full of cereal boxes. I figured if they didn't want to be observant, I was going to be a bit sarcastic, so I told the customer, the cereal's on aisle 19. Our store only has 18 aisles. The customer thanked me.
Thank you.
And left, walking toward the other end of the store. I thought that was it. Maybe she would come back and realize that she's been an idiot, and maybe complain to the manager at worst. But I was on my last day, so I really didn't care. That wasn't the case at all. The customer returned while I was still stocking the same aisle, from the same pallet of cereal. This time when she returned, I was holding a box of off-brand cereal in my hand. And this time the customer had a different question for me.
Where's aisle 19?
I almost laughed at the absurd question, but I managed to hold it back and keep a straight face while I smiled and told her, "It's upstairs." Again, like most grocery stores, there's no upstairs, except for a small stairway that leads up to the boiler room in the back. She walked off for another 10 minutes or so before returning again. Yet again, same customer, now seemingly more confused than ever, and still entirely surrounded by the product that she was originally looking for, came back and asked me,
"How do I get upstairs?"
This time my manager was actually near me, and with no other context than someone asking how to get upstairs, I looked at my manager, and then my customer, and directed the customer how to get to the back room to the boiler room. I didn't see the customer again, but when I went to clock out at the end of my shift, I did see a cart at the top of the flight of stairs that went to the boiler room, a cart that had been painstakingly dragged up metal stairs, full of groceries. I clocked out and left. I wanted nothing more to do with whatever nonsense that was. I've worked at a grocery store for over 3 years, and this is by far the weirdest and rudest people I've ever met. One of my favorite things to do was to cook recipes and to make samples for the customers as they shopped. These recipes are made by the company, so cooks like me make them and promote them for the customer so that we can sell more items. So the recipe for this was for half a week and was some delicious citrus shrimp and was probably accompanied by some type of salad. I put the uncooked shrimp on the foil covered pan and I start to coat them with a citrus mixture. Note, it's uncooked. That's quite important. As I start to do this, a customer I don't know, who I will call T, who was probably in his mid to late 20s, walks up to my little cook station. No hello, no how are you, or even a is it ready yet? Not a single word. He just reaches over. I quickly retract the pan from him before he touches the shrimp. I didn't have a whole lot of shrimp to begin with, and if a customer touches any food before it's done, it is considered contaminated and must be thrown away, and this exchange happens.
Oh, no, sir. I'm terribly sorry, but you can't have any just yet. Why not?
This shrimp had no joke, just came out of the bag from the seafood department, very clearly raw, thus unsafe for consumption.
I'm sorry, sir. This shrimp is not ready. I haven't cooked it yet, but I like it cold.
I'm sorry, but what? I'm not sure what the probability of getting sick after eating raw shrimp is, but shrimp is known to have E. coli, and there is no way I'm serving it raw, let alone unfinished food for a customer. That would put my job on the line. I was pretty fed up with this, but I kept my retail face on.
Sir, I'm sorry, but I can't serve you any food until the recipe is done.
Well, by this time, a woman had walked over, who we'll call C, and she was around the same age as T. They were the definition of trashy redneck. Apparently, C was T's girlfriend. He gestured to her and turned the conversation a complete 180.
You see my girlfriend's makeup?
I am absolutely bewildered by this random question.
Yes?
You should let her do yours.
She's a professional.
I had absolutely no words at this point. Let it be known that I was wearing makeup, but just enough to look presentable, not wanting to go overboard in a work environment. I just did enough foundation, eyebrows, mascara, blush, and maybe lipstick, but I can't remember. You want to know what this professional had on her face? You'd expect a fully done face, or even just a simple yet well done look, right? Wrong. A single shade of blue eyeshadow over her entire eyelid, and obviously fake eyelashes. Nothing else. It looked like a 5-year-old did it. Maybe they'd do a better job. Thankfully, that was the last thing that T said before they both walked off, and thankfully they never came back. On the bright side of this, it makes for a great story for my coworkers, and that shrimp, when it was actually done, it was pretty bomb. I used to work at a zoo. I mostly worked in the baby zoo, but I sometimes helped out in the aviary, where we housed tropical birds, amphibians, and of course snakes. One day, a well-dressed blonde woman in her 40s walked up to me and asked,
"Why do you have to feed the snakes rat and birds? Why can't you put the snakes on a vegan diet?"
At first I thought she was kidding, but of course she wasn't. "That's impossible," I replied. "Snakes are obligated carnivores, and they can't eat just vegetables because their bodies cannot digest it. They would die of malnutrition and starvation." She wouldn't believe me. She got really mad.
"That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
She actually stomped her foot and insisted loudly that
you can mince the vegetables in a blender, then put it in a tube, like veggie hot dogs.
I just looked at her and all I could think was, somewhere a village is missing their idiot. Hello. This story my mom told me after returning home from work one morning. My mom was a third shift telephone operator back before digital and cell phones, the kind you called to connect or ask for dialing information. Anyways, she would always come home in the morning with funny stories or jokes the security guard told her. This particular morning, she was still laughing and says,
"Jen, you wouldn't believe what happened last night. I get a call from this obvious drunk man after the bars in our town closed and asked for a cab. I said, 'I'm sorry, sir, but I couldn't do that you have to call the company yourself, and I could provide the number.' He once again said to call him a cab. Again, I told him I couldn't do that. I was slightly irritated, but I stayed pleasant nonetheless."
Now comes the moment of vicious compliance. He finally screamed at her, "I said call me a cab." She yelled back in exasperation,
Fine, you're a cab.
He hung up.
I guess that's all he wanted.
Laughed my mom. We laughed about this for 10 minutes. I was working at a popular amusement park. We had this one big roller coaster. It had a lot of big hills. It was designed to make the rider feel weightless. After riding this roller coaster, this elderly man and his daughter comes up to me. Hi, hello, how was your ride on the roller coaster?
It was horrible, actually.
I'm sorry to hear that. What can we do better?
Tear down that roller coaster.
Excuse me?
It needs to be torn down because it's super unsafe.
We have licensed inspectors in the state. They inspect each ride every month, and we inspect rides daily.
You need better inspectors then.
Why is that?
Because my daughter and I almost flew out of the ride.
By this point, the daughter, who was about 15, is walking down the exit line.
Come on, Dad, let's go.
Hold on, I'm talking to this little over here.
Excuse me, sir?
What the is it?
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the ride.
No, I want to speak to your manager.
I'll go get him. Please wait here to the side of the loading platform of the roller coaster.
A conversation goes on between the man and his daughter. The other two ride operators are busy loading the next group of riders. I take a note pen and a pad from the ride operator's backpack and go back to the angry guest.
I just called the manager.
I really didn't.
He wants me to write down some information for you to file a complaint.
I have a complaint to file, all right?
What's your name?
My name's Guest.
What did you want to file a complaint about?
This roller coaster is super dangerous. It needs to be torn down.
I can assure you that all the rides here are completely safe. But why do you feel the roller coaster violates our policy?
Almost flew out of the seat during the big hill.
You know it's supposed to make you feel like that, right? They call it airtime hills. They are designed to make you feel like you're weightless.
Wait, what?
The roller coaster has specially designed hills called airtime hills. They are designed to make the rider feel like they're floating. Each seat is equipped with both seat belts and lap bar restraints. We've never had any malfunction with roller coaster restraint systems.
Oh, so it's supposed to be like that.
Yes, the manufacturer of the roller coaster built the track layout specifically for that purpose.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know. I thought it was unsafe. I don't like that floaty feeling.
It's okay. It's actually pretty common complaint.
Oh, thanks for understanding. Can you tell us any rides that don't have any scary floating feeling?
I look around the ride platform because you can see some of the other rides from there.
I recommend this ride. It's pretty calm and gentle in nature.
What does it do?
It's a river raft ride where you float around in the river in small boats.
Okay, so it's completely safe?
100%.
Okay.
Then he walked off with his daughter.
Extra blooper reel.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I wanted to show you.
Oh, cool. Except for that one.
Why don't you like that one? It's supposed to be that way.
No, I don't like it.
It's a, what are they called?
I don't know.
Focal point.
Oh, okay.
You're not a woman. I like it.
Oh, come on.
Bitch.
Get out of here. Stubborn woman. The other two ride operators are busy. I just want to thank everyone who allowed me to use their stories by sending them in so that I can read them. I know it takes me a while sometimes to sharing them if I can. I'm going to continue to try to do as many as I possibly can. Health concerns are really weighing on me lately, and it's making it extremely difficult for me to continue to work on it. But I love doing it, and I'm going to continue. If you have any stories you'd like to submit, send them my way at funwithfailure@gmail.com. Same thing with your artwork. I would love to display them, and I'll also give you credit. And if I have your permission, I'll probably use it as a thumbnail or an image for one of the stories. It could do with any of the topics that I cover, or just really cool art. Yeah, actually I really don't mind, just in case it's appropriate. I've got new things on my merchandise page. Some of the things that I'm selling is just artwork that I do, so I hope you check them out. Thank you all for your submissions. Please keep them coming. I really enjoy reading them. Thank you very much. and I hope to see you again soon.